Good morning. It's May the 6th, 2020, and Dave Conroy is my name from the Lone Drainer and Pronto. And as you know, I've been doing the Lone Drainer and Pronto Coronavirus Diaries to just take a bit of a time capsule of what's going on in my town with the people I know and that I work with and family, friends and different businesses and find out what's happening with them throughout the coronavirus. Now, today my special guest is Adam Joseph, and I know Adam because he's a good fella. He's a handsome fella, as you can all see. He's a Coogee local, but he trains my middle and my youngest son. He's their boxing coach. But Adam's in the Fudge Shop business. So welcome, Adam.
G'day, Dave. How are you?
Great to see you. But you're working from home today, and look, I just tell our listeners that Adam has a business called the Fudge Shop, and also the Fudge Shop Hire. But the Fudge Shop is a shop that sells sweets in Darling Harbour here in the centre of Sydney, and I wanted to find out from Adam how the Fudge Shop has been affected by the coronavirus and how his family have been affected by the coronavirus. So firstly, could I ask you about your family, Adam? Tell me how the coronavirus has affected your wife and your children.
Well, my kids are studying from home. I've got 3 girls. They're all 16. And, they're doing online. Yeah, very lucky. And they're doing online classes. I don't know that it's very effective, but they're all studying in their rooms and using not Skype, Zoom, I think, to study from home.
Yep. And is that, are they enjoying that process?
I think they're starting to get bored of it and they'd like to get back into school and the social aspect of it, see their friends.
Yeah. What year are the girls in?
Year 10.
Okay, and they go to school here in Sydney?
They're at Vinnie's in Potts Point.
St Vincent's College?
Yeah.
Okay, my one of my sisters went there, so I know a little bit about that school. Adam, and your wife, Arabella?
She works from home anyway.
Yeah.
She works for me in the hire business. She does all the correspondence with the customers, but obviously the hire business is shut now. This is probably leading on to your next thing.
So tell me about that. So tell me about how. So firstly, tell me about the Fudge Shop in Darling Harbour and how that used to be, and the Fudge Shop Hire, how it used to be, and actually how it is now.
Well, the Fudge Shop in Darling Harbour relies heavily on the convention centre, which obviously is shut because they can't have any events. There's no domestic tourists, there's no international tourists, and now with the restrictions, there's no essential services in that shopping centre. So they've essentially shut the shopping centre and caged it off so that the public can't get in there. So we had no choice but to close. Yeah. The hire business also is closed because there are no events on. People can't have parties. The universities aren't having open days. And none of the corporates are doing anything. So it's sort of come to a complete standstill.
So what? Just a dead stop?
Yeah, like hitting a brick wall. Bang.
Okay.
It all stopped in the space of about a week.
Okay, so do you remember what date that was?
Last week of March. Yeah.
Okay, so about the 20th of March, around the 20th of March.
Yeah, and the 23rd of March, the hire business, like we were getting email after email cancelling. In 3 days, every event cancelled. So, yeah.
So A, the shop shut, B, the Fudge Shop hire services shut. So tell me what you would make for the Fudge Shop in the Fudge Shop and in the hire business. What sort of things would you provide?
Well, the hire business, we ran out frozen cocktail machines, coffee carts, ferry floss machines, popcorn machines, hot dog machines.
Yeah.
Snow cone machines. We operate them as well if people require.
Yeah.
So the need for all these things has come to a
Dead stop.
The Fudge Shop, we hand make confectionery, peanut brittle, all the brittles, macadamia brittle, cashew brittle, about 20 different varieties of fudge, toffee apples, caramel apples, a lot of fairy floss there too. So obviously, I mean, without customers, you can't make anything. So
No, gee. So you've gone from flat out to stopped overnight, effectively. And tell me, I know from my experience last year of watching you as the master craftsman of toffee apples. I've seen you actually create them, and it's actually poetry in motion, and then take them to the Easter show. So the Easter show is obviously a big event on Sydney's calendar, but it's also a big event on Adam, Joseph, and the Fudge Shop's calendar as well. So no Easter show.
Yeah, it was cancelled. Maybe was it 2 weeks before it started, 2 or 3 weeks before it started, and they were heavily pushing the advertising, saying we're going ahead, because obviously they wanted to go ahead, and then they had to pull the pin, obviously, because you couldn't have events over 50 people, and then within a week you couldn't have events over 10 people, so they had no choice but to pull the pin on it. So
great shame for the City of Sydney and for Australia, the agricultural RAS Royal Agricultural Show, and for your business.
And funnily enough, the last time it was cancelled was the Spanish flu.
100 years ago.
100 years ago, exactly. So,
Adam, today, as I've mentioned, is the 6th of May, 2020. And it feels like the covers are coming off, like people are getting out a little bit more. I think some of the state government rules are being relaxed. The streets are noticeably more busy. If they start to lift the lockdown rules, how do you envisage your business might be reactivated?
I would imagine that the hire business would be activated last, because they're still not going to have events. They're still not going to have large gatherings. They're saying that will not be the case until there's a vaccine or eradication, because of the social distancing will remain in place. The shop will reopen, I imagine, in the space of the next month or two. And the only problem with that is because Darling Harbour is reliant on the convention centre and the restaurants and pubs that are down there, that if they don't open, there won't be any customers, which will be...
There's no foot traffic.
There'll be no foot traffic, which will be very difficult to sustain business down there.
So it's a pretty grim picture still.
It is, I mean, in that field, yes, because Darling Harbour is not a suburban area, so you need people to have a reason to go there.
Yeah.
You know, or tourists. You need tourists to have to want to have a holiday, and obviously that's not going on at all. So,
we don't have any tourists at the moment.
No. So.
Well, how do you feel?
Well, I feel actually quite relaxed. Luckily, we've got the JobKeeper, so we have something coming in. Yeah. But I do feel, for people, not like us who have just sort of started a business, they must be crippled. They to have taken out a loan or just opened up a shop or just gone out on your own. It would be a very difficult time, I imagine.
But it's still difficult for you in your particular circumstance. You've got a wife and 3 children to look after.
Yeah, it is difficult, but
you're managing.
Sorry,
you're managing.
Yeah, we're managing, and also there are people I imagine in a much more difficult situation. I think the worst problem, we had about 4 international students that worked for us, and they all lost their jobs.
Yeah,
and they have no access to welfare or to JobKeeper, and they can't go back to their countries because the coronavirus is running riot. in countries like Turkey and Brazil.
Are you checking in on those kids?
Yeah, I text them once a week.
Yeah.
And they're actually seem to be quite happy just to bunker down here.
Yeah. Even though things aren't great in your circumstance, we are pretty blessed to be living in Australia.
Oh yeah, I mean, we've got good healthcare and we've got a pretty low rate of transmission. So
yeah,
chances of things getting bad here, we're in a lot better position than other countries, as you know.
Yeah, I do. Well, look, I want to say thank you for spending time with me today. It's been a pleasure to see you, and I know that I'll run into you around the streets or the beaches of Coogee. And thank you. I want to say it publicly, but thank you for looking after my two sons.
Oh, it's all right. It's no trouble. They're good to train and they're good guys. So.
Yeah. Well, you're a good guy too.
Thanks, Dave. It's good of you to say that.
Anyway, I'll leave you to it, and I'll end this here now, and I'll talk to you soon.
Cheers, Dave.
Oh, one thing before you go.
Yeah.
Could I check in with you in the next few months and see how things are unfolding for you in the Fudge Shop?
Of course, no problem at all. That'd be good.
Bye for now.
Thanks, Dave. Cheers.